Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to make Excel super simple for beginners. Whether you are a student, a professional, or just curious, by the end of this video, you will master the 10 most essential Excel functions that every beginner should know. These are the building blocks that will make learning the advanced Excel much easier later on. The top 10 functions we are going to be learning: the sum function, the average function, the count function, the count A or counter function, the almighty if function or logical if, the mean function, the max, the concat function, the len function, the trim function, the sum function. The sum function is basically used to add up numbers in Excel. Let's look at this example. We wanted to know the total units that were sold. So to get that, it's pretty much simple and easy. You click in the cell is equal to, write the sum function, open bracket, select the range, close the bracket. This is the total amount of units sold. Let's look at the second one, the average function. So the average function is used to finding the mean value of a set of numbers. To find the mean or average, you click is equal to average, open bracket. You want to know the average of the price, so I select the range, open bracket. The third one is the count function. You can notice that we have count and count A. They are actually different functions. Now the count function is used for counting numbers in a range. The count A is used for counting all non-empty cells. Let's demonstrate that. Now the count, so is equal to count, open bracket. When I highlight the whole range, close bracket, it's showing me that we have 9 numeric values here. In effect, we have 11, but you can see that in the table, 2 of them are non-numeric values. So it's not counting these 2. That is why we are having 9. So if I change this to a number, it's going to count it. Now let's look at the next one, count A or counter. This one counts all the non-empty cells, including text or any other character. Is equal to count A, open bracket, select the range, close bracket, is equal to. This one is counting 11 because when you look at it, we actually have 11 rows and all of them are having values. That is why it is counting 11. So if I make this cell empty, it's not going to count it because it's empty, so it subtracted it. If it has any value at all inside, it's going to count it, but the other one will not count it because it's not a numeric value. So that is the difference between these two. Now the logical if. How do you use this if? It's a very powerful formula in Excel that is the grandfather to all those advanced Excel formulas that you see out today. Let us demonstrate how this works. Pertaining to this example we have in front of us, I want to check if quantity sold is greater or equal to 100. If quantity sold are equal or greater than 100, then I want it to be good. But if quantity sold are less than 100, then it should be bad. You are trying to know whether the condition is true or false. So if it is true, then this should happen. If it is false, then that should happen. So let's start. Is equal to if, open bracket, E3 or the quantity sold is greater or equal to 100, then the outcome should be good. Otherwise, then it should be bad. Close bracket. I press the enter. It's showing that this is good. So I just have to double click or I click and drag, it's not showing good and bad. If I change this value to 90, it's now bad because it is false. Remember, we are only checking for a true or false statement using the logical if. So that's the use of the logical if. We can also look at another example here where we want to do grading. So we can use an if statement to do grading. For grading, we have multiple ways of doing it. We can use the if function, ifs function. We can use the VLOOKUP, the XLOOKUP, the lookup itself, and the choose function. So you have a lot of ways to do it, but I'll cover that in a different video. Let us continue. The sixth one here is the mean function. So that is finding the smallest number. To find the mean is equal to mean, open bracket, we highlight the range. So the mean or the smallest value here is 40, and when you look at it, it's exactly true. The next one here is max. That is finding the largest number. So to do the max is equal to max, open bracket, highlight the range, close bracket. So the maximum value in this column is 200. Next, Concat function. That is joining text together. It can be used in instances where the names are in different cells. G, this is in column H, but I prefer them all being in one cell. This is why we use the concat function. To do this is equal to concat, open bracket, you click the first one, comma, click the second one, close bracket, enter. So the name is here. You can now see that the name has been brought together, but this is not exactly what we wanted. I want them bringing them together and also the little space in between. So how do you solve that? It's pretty much simple. Let's click in our formula bar here. Now we can use this character to bring the space inside now. I bring the space, press the enter. So you can see that now it has been splitted. Click and drag and all of them has appeared. Next is the len function. Len function, that is counting characters in a cell. Let's check it out. Counting characters in this cell. So it's equal to len, open bracket, I select the text, close bracket. So it's showing that we have 6 characters here. When you count it is 6. So it's showing us the number of characters we have. The same way we can do it for this as well. So you should know that they count the numeric value. The length count the characters in the cell. That is the main difference. Finally, the trim function. The trim function is basically used to remove extra spaces at the beginning or at the end of the text. For example, Robert here is having a space in front of it, that is why it's shifted this way. Linda also, Mary, David, they are having spaces in front of them. So let's trim it off. It's equal to trim, open bracket, select, close bracket, and enter. So now the extra spaces here are all removed. So that is basically it. But you'll notice that in the last one, it has removed the spaces, but there's a little thing here to remove. Now to do this is a little bit advanced. So it means you need to introduce the substitute function inside the trim in order to remove that too. The trim function. So now you can click and drag and everything is solved now. But for the sake of this exercise, let's not go too deep into advanced stuff. Let's just keep it to only this 10 that we learn about: the sum, the average, the count A, the almighty logical if, the mean, the max, concate, the length, and then the trim function. So that's all we'll be doing today. I'll be leaving this example inside the comment section for you to download and practice with, learning all 10. So if you like videos like this, like, subscribe and follow for more. I'll see you in the next one.